Thanks for coming back to Jeres Locked In. Locked In. Okay, I'm corny sometimes, don't even trip. Okay, so anyway, you are tuning into my channel because you are getting your starter locks together. You getting your life with these starter locks, okay? So basically, this video is going to be about my journey. So let's get into it. So in order for me to talk about my journey, you gotta talk about my first journey first, okay? So we're gonna go back to 2017. I will have pictures here on one side or whatever. And basically, that's when I started my first lock journey. And I had a 1-year-old son at the time, and I had been natural for at least, at that time, up to about 6 or 7 years. So I was a loose natural. I put some videos, some pictures up there to let you see what I was rocking prior to. Okay, so that was cool. And I always kind of knew I was into locks. I knew I kind of liked them. I knew I loved it on other people. But I was also kind of like, should I not? You know, I big chop at least 4 times, okay? So I'm nothing when it comes to hair. I will cut this stuff off. I will grow it out. I've done everything. I've tried dang near every color, okay? I've tried every protective style that I wanted to do. And so I was basically at this point like, look, okay? I think it's time, because I just had my 1-year-old and it was just like the braid outs, the twist outs every night. And I'm like, you know what? I just don't have the time to really put into my hair like that no more. I was like, no, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, okay, let me get into this lock journey. I did all the research that I could do. Okay, so I give advice to anybody that's interested in starting your locks to do as much intel as you can, okay? Because it takes a lot, you know, and you have to be mentally ready. And I'll get into more videos about that too. But this is about my journey. So I was basically doing a lot of research on YouTube, just on YouTube. At that time, I wasn't even thinking about having no channel. I was just on here basically just studying everybody's, you know, journey, and basically just seeing what they had went through, or, you know, following people that started at the same time I started, you know, and just kind of going through the steps with them type of thing. And then I was on Pinterest. Lord, I did a lot of research, you know, so I started in like April 2017, I want to say, somewhere down there. And so I had locks for up till, I guess, I had locks until 2020, February 2020. I moved from Texas to California. And when I moved out here, I don't know, it was like, I always felt like with my first set of locks that I was going to get, it wasn't going to end here. I was probably going to cut it and do it again, because I felt like me and my sister did it together. She kind of did, like, parted it off and started it off in two strand twists. And so we all parted it, and then I was like, okay, this is cool. And then as I was going through it, I was like, I want them smaller. So I kind of split the parts together and kind of just split them and then just made them smaller. And so as time went by, I was like, okay, well, I'm going to want to, you know what I'm saying? I'm just going to start it out. I wasn't going to take them all down. I think I took them down one time and then had her do it one more time. She was like, look, I'm not going to be playing with you. Keep this in your hair. So I was like, okay, girl, I'm going to keep it in. So basically, I was like, I'm just going to grow it out. I was like, but this might not be my first, because I might want them smaller. I was thinking about sister locks for a minute. Then I was thinking about micro locks for a minute. And I was just like, wait a minute. Because I want to do, like, I'm the type of person, I just do my own hair. I have a background in hair. got my cosmetology license back in like years ago. So I've always been like I always did my hair. You know, now if I want somebody else to do my hair, I will go, but I'm not dependent on them, because I ain't that tight. I don't have time. I want to get my hair. I don't have time to wait. Okay, so it just puts you in a situation where you just start doing it yourself. You know what I'm saying? And so that's where I was with it. So basically, I wanted to do something I knew I could do. I wasn't sure if I can do sister locks on my own. I'm not saying, because they have a certain pattern, and I was like, I don't know. I'm just not gonna tell you I'm gonna take care of about 300 to 500 locks in my head. I'm just not gonna tell you that. I'm not gonna tell you that. Okay, so I was like, I just don't think I'm gonna do it. And then I was like, micro locks, a little bit small, they're a little bit bigger than sister locks, so they don't have a pattern that you go with. So I was like, well, let me try that. Not seen too many videos, and I was like, I ain't gonna be able to do that neither. Okay, so I said, okay, so basically, I was like, I ain't gonna do. I'm just gonna stick to the locks I had. And I think I had about, I want to say roughly 80 to 70 locks. I think I counted them one time, you guys, and then I was like, okay, I'm just not gonna worry about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna let it grow out. So I have pictures here, and so basically, I loved it. I will say this though, those are starting out on your journey, like, get ready, because it's gonna get ugly. But it's okay, because we're gonna push through. Okay, we're gonna push through. You know what I'm saying? It's stages that these things go through. This is stages, okay? But the overall of it, like the end goal is so. The end goal, you'll be proud that you pushed through them days of the fuzziness, of the just all of the stuff that comes with your hair. It goes through so many changes, and for a while they just gonna be looking real crazy. Okay, right now mine is like 3 months old because I have been doing protective styles on top of my hair. So I was doing like faux locks, new locks, or whatever like that in my hair for a while. I did that for like 2 months. And prior to that, I think I had just like box braids or whatever like that. So I'll put a picture where I started, and then in that actual picture there, I actually made them smaller. So I started over again. I was like, I gotta get it right. Okay. Okay. So basically, so I got it right finally. I was like, okay, I'm not gonna redo it. And so I took my hair down a few days ago, and from the faux locks, and I was just like, I just want to go ahead and let's let it ride. Let's just go. You know what I'm saying? And then I had little moments because I'm like, okay, I've been looking a certain way on my YouTube channel. I don't want it to be like, where this look come from? But then I was like, I realized that I didn't care, and I just pushed right on through. I'm like, whatever. But I'll just do a separate channel. And so I have my jereslocs channel that y'all can check out for the advice or whatever like that. Check me out over there, girls. I'm there too. Or this could be just my definitely a lock channel. It's gonna be more lock and content, but I'll do some other things to make it fun or whatever like that. And for those who know me, they know I have a lot of looks. I have a lot of colors. I've done a lot to my hair. So for those that follow me, that know me and follow me, know what's up. I change up a lot, but I'm sticking to it this time. So I'm 3 months in. So I plan on doing at least 1 month, maybe 1 month. Let me see, once a month. Check-ins with the starter locks. But in between, I'll be doing other lock content and other beauty content as well. And so that's basically it. This second journey. Why did you cut your locks? Okay, why did I cut my locks? If you was feeling them so well, why did you cut them? Because when I got here, I had did a lot to my locks. I did. I felt like I over-processed them with color. I think I did a lot. And so this time around, I'm not going to do as much. You're like, girl, you already got color in your hair. Yes, I do. But I'm going to stay away from bleach. Bleach kind of did a lot. Okay, so it just, like I told you from the beginning, I always felt like this probably be my first set. I'll do one more set. There's a lot of people go through sets. They go to 2 or 3 sets. You know what I'm saying? I've seen people do that. I've seen people on their channel that's done a few. So I don't think I want to go through it no more. I think this is about, as many locks as I want, and I think it's about 100, roughly 100 to 90 something locks. I'm good. You know, I've retwisted it twice since I started. So I retwisted yesterday. It's a little fuzzy, but you know, it's just gonna be it's gonna be like this. It's gonna be like this, you guys. Okay. When you first start, I'll do videos about starter locks and all that stuff, and we can just get into it. But basically, I cut it because I felt like I over processed, and I just wanted to start over fresh, you know. I didn't know what I was getting into with 2020, but I'm glad I cut it. So when I cut it, I have my hair this short, and this is how much it's grown since then. So I cut it in April. Wait, I moved in February to February 2020 when I moved to California. So I think I cut it like a month or two, April 2020. So when I cut my hair, I'll do a timestamp on that picture to see when it is, but I think it's April. I have all that up here, and I cut it to this length, and then it's been growing out since then. I just kind of did protective styles to even get it to this length. When I first started my starter locks, it was longer than this, you know. So I'm kind of interested in seeing what's changed this time, what's different this time, things of that nature, and so we'll just see. We go push through, okay? So I will have you know, a lot to give advice and things like that about locks, and just a lot of things that people are hesitant about. You know, how will I look? Should I wear wigs? Should I do this until it gets to a certain point? You can really do what you want to do. It's your hair. If you don't feel comfortable like this, because I'm not gonna say I'm a bad. I mean, I think, you know, it goes through stages. I know what the end goal gonna be, so I'm like, I ain't really worried about it. Is locks, is it very low maintenance? I'll say this: it's lower maintenance than natural loose hair. It's lower, and when I say lower, I'm not saying that, oh, I could just get up and go. And you can just get up and go if that's what you really want to do. And sometimes, just like at this stage, you just kind of can spray it down with some water and some oil mixture and keep it going, keep it pumping. It is a lot that you don't have to do. It's not as much products that you have to put in your hair. You don't have to do a whole lot because you don't want any buildup. So it's lower there. You just have to deal with retwisting your hair maybe every 6 weeks or so. Or, you know, if that's if you want traditional looking locks. If you want a freeform, you ain't got to do no retwist at all. Or you want a semi-freeform, then you can do a retwist every, 3 or 4 months. I don't know. It's just the look you going for. Do what you want to do. It's you. It's on you. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it can be rough at the beginning. I'm not going to sit up here and lie and be like, oh, but you know. But it's like, at the end of the day, it's like, issue, and you're growing it. It's going to be like a plant. You know, I will say the less you do, the less you touch it, the less you manipulate it, and just really don't think about it. And I did that. At one point, I was obsessed with my hair for like 6 months, and my hair finally locked at about 9 months. And it's different for other people, okay? But after I stopped really paying that much attention to it, it just started growing. It really started growing, and it was just like, okay. And that first year, you know, it might be a little rough the first year, and after that second year and that third year, you out of there because you got so much length hang time. You be like, what? So just push through. For those that are just starting out for starter locks, it can get a little crazy depending on if you always like a neat look and this and that. It ain't gonna always be there. You gonna go through the frizz, but you want the frizz because the frizz gonna help you lock. It's gonna help these lock. So you need the frizz. So you have to adjust your thinking. Some people might not care about that, but some people may. This is a whole lot. It's a mind thing, but just know that you're beautiful inside and out. So it really don't matter, okay? And you gonna push through either way, because when you be throwing them locks together, throwing them locks, honey, and it's your hair. When it's yours, it hit different when it's your hair, don't it? But anyway, I ain't knocking nobody else because I didn't put too much false, look, my protective style, stuff like that. I ain't knocking it, but it hit different when you can see your hair actually grow. You know what I'm saying? And so it's all good. You know what I'm saying? So basically, Thank you for tuning in to my channel. It's fresh and new. It's a baby. I'm excited. You excited? We excited because we got a lock journey going, okay? So we're just like, hey, I'm excited. Let's get into it. It's gonna be some days that we ain't gonna be feeling it, but we gonna still push through, okay? So I will have all my socials down below. Thanks for tuning in. I'll have content coming to you. You know what I'm saying? Because we got to keep it together. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate each and every one of you for tuning into my channel. Again, my name is Jere, and this is Jere Locked In. So thank you for tuning in, and I'm going to see you in my next video. All right.